It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the owner of the Sports Scoop, a sports YouTube channel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to start a sports YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I think it was like a lot of people, I guess, over quarantine. Obviously followed football and a lot of other sports all my life. And, was bored, didn't have a lot of schoolwork, got a couple of my friends and just decided to start a YouTube channel. Originally it was a podcast, but, I think it's more of a YouTube channel now. But yeah, I think I've loved football for a long time. And I think it's such a fun thing to talk about it, grow a fan base, and just meet a lot of people. So I think we started it just for the love of the sport.
Can you talk about how you came up with the name The Sports Scoop?
Yeah, it's so it's actually kind of a tough one. So originally we did three sports: soccer, basketball, and football. We now only do football, so the name is a bit contradicting, but it's just been the name we've had for so long. I think the Sports Scoop just came from, I guess we kind of thought the sports scoop didn't sound great. The is like a word you don't hear that much. And we kind of just decided to make it. It was original, and I think it just stuck, and it's kind of a household name now.
Do you have anybody that you have on like with your podcast, or is it just you?
So yeah, it's I actually do. I have they weren't able to make it, but I have three other people, Dylan, Charlie, and Surridge. There, if you guys know our YouTube channel, they're on a lot of videos. I'm majority. I do like all the editing, and I'm on most of the videos, so I think people see me more. But yeah, no, we definitely have more people on this channel. It's not just me.
What things do you cover on your YouTube channel?
So we did basketball and soccer and football, as I said earlier. It was definitely just hard, I guess, to grow a fan base with doing three sports. I guess people click on your channel after seeing a football video, and I guess they're looking at, well, I don't know, like he's doing other sports. Football is definitely what we knew more about. I play soccer. I don't actually play football, but I'm more interested and have more knowledge about football. So we decided to make the switch to football. All of our videos, we usually did more football anyway. So we decided to switch over to football, and we love it. It's been great. We've been doing it for about a month or so now, just football. And I think it's definitely beneficial to the channel. But yeah, just football.
What are something that you learn now that you didn't know before starting a YouTube channel?
Definitely that it's hard to start and grow, I guess, a fan base. I'm sure on Instagram and all that, it's something where you got to work hard, and with school and stuff you have to really balance it, and it's hard work, and it's so fun. But I think something I learned is just work hard. I think you learn how to balance things, and I think it's definitely good for future life and jobs. Learning how to do several things at one time and at a high level is it's really fun to do, though.
What is some of the future plans for the Sports Scoop?
Man, I mean, I think right now it's just to keep bringing out videos, get some more people on our show, definitely, get a lot big videos. And I think in the future, the goal is I want to be a sports broadcaster. I think we all do. So it's, in the future, it's maybe make this a TV show or something like that, long term. But obviously college will get in the way. But right now it's just growing and staying consistent, I would say.
Do you see your Sports Scoop joining a network?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've thought about that a lot. ESPN, obviously, those big ones: ESPN, Fox, CBS, those big sports networks. I love a lot fantasy football. I'm like the only one on the channel that kind of does fantasy football videos. So, if you know about, the fantasy football network, people over there, definitely we've had a lot of people on our show about fantasy football. So if we were to join and I was, have a talk show about fantasy football, that's really my dream in life, just talk about sports. But yeah, I think joining anything, any big, sports channel at all would be amazing.
Who are some of the people that you've interviewed?
So we have interviewed, we don't actually do a lot. We just interviewed a fantasy Instagram page, a guy who, he interviews a lot of famous people. His name is the fantasy football plug. And then interviewed Buccaneers offensive lineman Ali Marpet. He lived in our town, so we had a connection there. We interviewed Stephon Marbury, used to be a professional basketball player. We interviewed his son, who's like a prospect to go into the NBA. We interviewed a pretty big fantasy, I guess, like guy. His name was he's the fantasy football show. His name's Smitty. We talked about like fantasy football with him in the summer, but not much. We're looking for more interviews, but more it's just focused on people seeing us and growing our page.
What are some of your future plans, and what advice would you give upcoming sports talk podcasts?
So I think advice would be, if you're gonna make a podcast, just record. I think that's the hardest thing I see with a lot of people, and I haven't even been in this that long, and still for us it's tough. We have a schedule. You got to record this day, and especially since I'm editing, you have to just stick to what you got to do, be consistent. That's the one thing, if I'm going to tell you, be consistent. That's how we've grown. Your fans or whoever supports you should know you're coming out with videos when and be consistent with whether you have an Instagram page or just doing Instagram posts. Be consistent with the designs. So stay consistent, make good content. I would say for sports podcasts, get a microphone. Those are very important, just because quality is good, but that's secondary. You want to just click record and give people some your knowledge and get yourself out there.
Where can my listeners find your sports podcast at on social media along with podcast platforms?
That's a great question. So our Instagram is _sports_scoop. That's the like THEE. And then we have a podcast. It's kind of a side thing called The Uncut Sports Pod, which is, we don't post too much on that Instagram, but that's The Uncut Sports _ or under pod. We have a pod. That's what the podcast name is. And then our YouTube channel is TheeSportsScoop, no spaces. That's where you can find. That's where we post most of our content there. That's where you can find us.
Thank you again for your interview, and best of luck with your sports podcasts.
Thank you so much. You too.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at @talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.